Welcome back to more Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. I'm Negative Zero. Thank you for watching. I hope you're doing all right. Before we get started, I'm going to talk for a minute or two about some technical things that have been going on with this playthrough. So if you're not interested in that, cut ahead about 2 minutes and we'll jump right back into the gameplay. But first, as you guys know, this is my first PC gameplay. Like I have always been off of a console before this. And changing the setup has been a little bit of an issue, especially with audio. Audio has been a big bear so far. If you've been following this series from the beginning, we had major problems, and then I thought I fixed the problems, but it turns out I really haven't. I had a comment the other day, maybe 2 days ago, about there being a lot of static, especially when like Kreia is shooting lightning or there's blaster fire. There's been static, and I haven't even known that it was there. When I'm playing the game, that's not the audio that I've been hearing. I haven't had it, but in the way that my audio stuff is being recorded, as far as the gameplay goes, there were a few too many connections, and it led to interference. So that was a thing that was going on, and somebody thankfully said something in the comments, and I went back and I listened, and I was like, wow. When I'm recording, I'm using headphones so that the microphone that I'm talking into doesn't pick up the sound, and I only have one earbud in. I only have the right headphone on, and I think the static was on the left side. So whenever there was any blaster shot, there was a little bit of static, and I think depending on your speaker setup, like if you're using your phone or your tablet, or if you're on a computer or using your television or whatever, it all sounds different. And some people were getting big amounts of static, and some people didn't have any static at all. So anyway, I found out about that problem, and I've spent the last day basically learning a lot about Windows and audio and trying to fix the problem, and I hope we fixed it. But the reason I wanted to tell you this is if there are technical issues with the gameplay. I know everybody wants to tell me like where to go to do this, what planet to go to, and that's a lot of fun to talk about. But if there are technical issues with this, because I'm very new at the PC recording setup, please let me know. If there's video problems, if there's audio problems, or something else, just let me know, because I am learning. I learned a lot, like I said, a lot about how audio works in Windows over the last day. But anyway, I just wanted to break the fourth wall a little bit and tell you a little bit of the behind-the-scenes stuff so you kind of know what's going on. So anyway, my little rant is done. Now we can actually begin the game. So we just met Atris, and last video was such a long video. I should have probably broken it off, but that bit with Atris is so cool, and I was so looking forward to that part. I loved that conversation. I loved when Kreia was talking to Atton. I mean, you could just... she's so cool. Like, the manipulation and the mind games and her long-term plans. So cool. So cool. I think she's one of the best characters in video games. So anyway, here's some ladies.
Why have you approached me?
I'm looking for my friends. Where's the Ebon Hawk? I'm looking for a fight? I'm searching for my friends.
You will find them in the main irrigation channel room, in the northern part of the plateau interior. The particle emitters there that once governed the flow of water to Telos can double as force cages.
I see. So shut them off and free them.
It is not part of my duties. Free them yourself. Then you must leave this place.
Right. Why did you imprison us?
They were caged for their safety, until we could determine your intent, exile. Atris cautioned us against your tactics, fearing that your allies would create a distraction. Your companions gave us little trouble, however. The male could have presented some challenge if he had resisted, but he chose not to.
Huh. Atton?
He has had some Ichani training. He masks it well, but when you were in danger, his mask dropped into a stance we know well.
That's interesting. Taken with Kreia's conversation that we don't technically know about, where would he have gotten that training?
I do not know. The Ichani forms are known to be taught to military special forces throughout the galaxy. If the source is a mystery to you, perhaps you should ask him. It would be wise to know those you travel with.
You know, that's a good point. So Achani is like the Krav Maga of Star Wars, I suppose. Another comment like that, and you're asking for a fight. Interesting. So where's the Ebon Hawk?
Your ship is stored in the hangar. Atris has given you permission to leave this place and not to return.
I had some questions for you.
You may ask.
I want to know about this place.
This was once a mighty irrigation center for Telos. It survived the orbital bombardment of the Sith, though the inhabitants did not. Ancient irrigation channels still lie beneath the surface of Telos, waiting to be used again for the reconstruction efforts, controlled from this facility.
But why is Atris here?
Shortly before the destruction of Dantooine by the forces of the traitor Jedi Malak, Atris had many Jedi artifacts and knowledge transported here secretly.
Interesting. That is very interesting. Why here? To hide them, obviously. How did she know Dantooine would be destroyed? And what about these artifacts? I've played this game before, and I vaguely recall what goes on with Atris, but I don't remember everything. So how did she know Dantooine would be destroyed?
The Jedi Council sensed it. Master Vrook, Master Vandar, but it was too late to do much except make arrangements for evacuation. It was a dark day for the Order. Many on Dantooine did not survive, Jedi or not. Atris would not speak for many days after the attack, and we feared our mistress was lost to us. In time, she regained her voice and her strength. She brought the artifacts and the teachings of the Jedi here and has kept them safe.
Why were they brought here?
Even the Sith prefer live prey to scavenging a corpse. She thought that a world already savaged by the Sith would not prove a target a second time. It was a place where the artifacts and the teachings of the Jedi could be kept safely if the Sith could not be turned aside.
That makes sense. Artifacts. Tell me about them.
Yes, many relics from Dantooine, some which predate even the destruction of Ossus. She was not able to save all, but she saved enough. She was able to bring them here before the Academy's destruction. It was a fortunate thing. She was not able to save everything.
Lightsabers. Ossus. Tell me about that.
Ossus was once the home of much of the Jedi teaching and knowledge. It was destroyed over 40 years ago by the Sith, during the time of Exar Kun. Fortunately, a few relics and artifacts were saved before Ossus was destroyed, but many were not.
So a lot of things were destroyed on Ossus, and then made it to Dantooine, and when we left Dantooine, or when the Jedi left Dantooine, even more stuff was lost. Okay. I'd like to see some of this Jedi knowledge.
Viewing the relics is not allowed without Atris's permission.
And she's not she's not about to let us do this. There's no way we're passing this persuade check. Should I even try it? Let's try it.
There is truth in what you say.
Oh my gosh.
Yet many such artifacts are sealed away in Atris's chambers. But if you wish to see a few of them, speak to the last of the handmaidens. She has seen some of these objects and has an interest in such things.
The last of the handmaidens?
Yes, she should be in the training chamber to the north and west of here. She constantly seeks to improve herself so that she may no longer be ranked last among us.
Why is she ranked last?
Because she is easily distracted by matters that do not concern her or her duty. Such distractions weaken her, and she knows this.
Like what?
I will not speak of them. Ask her yourself, if it matters to you.
I will do that. Was there
You
anything
may ask.
else? Did we ask, what do you do here?
We serve the Jedi, and we watch.
Serve what Jedi? There are not many here. I mean, there's only one, right?
Atris is the only Jedi here, this is true, but the Mistress will bring others in time.
I'm not going to say this one. My character, he's not convinced that he's a Jedi. Atris couldn't bring a dark flighted garbage, let alone Jedi, to this place. Let's ask her this. Are you training to become a Jedi?
I assume you meant no insult. It is forbidden for us to become Jedi, even if we possessed the awareness of the galaxy that the Jedi possess. We are here because we are not Jedi. That is our purpose.
Why is it an insult?
We have taken an oath to never follow the teachings of the Jedi, only to watch those of the Order and carry out Atris's will should it be necessary. Atris believes the new Jedi Order that shall arise here will need to be guarded and watched by those not touched by the Force. She thinks it will give balance.
She is the only one that needs balance, but let's not be rude yet. I'm not sure I understand.
The Jedi have long since lacked anyone to judge their actions and provide support should their power corrupt them. We are this strength. The Jedi Civil War proved that the Jedi are in need of such guidance. It is our duty to watch for aggression, rage, passion, and end it before it takes root.
This is fascinating. So Atris is trying to bring about a new Jedi Order. She's convinced that she's the last one, but she wants to change the teachings of the Jedi because the Jedi Civil War proved, all of those Jedi, all of Revan's people that went off to fight the Mandalorians, they fell, except for us. So Atris clearly sees that there's a flaw in the Jedi teachings. And her answer to that is to have non-Force wielding warriors basically make sure the Jedi stay in line. Would that even work? I'm not sure it would. But it's an interesting philosophy. So you'd strike me down if I showed any rage or aggression.
I would have struck you down as you entered this place, if Atris had not stayed my hand. Though you are not a Jedi, you have been sickened in Revan's service. If for a moment I felt you could bring harm to Atris or this place, then I would end you.
That sounds harsh.
It is not harsh. It is necessary.
Okay, so they're hardliners for sure. Let's see, what else can we say? But Atris is in charge of you, and she's a Jedi.
Atris is trusted. She has watched Jedi rise and fall and knows the ways of both paths to see the signs when they begin. She is a worthy one to judge the Jedi when the Jedi refuse to judge their own.
But will she be able to judge herself? That's the question. These are interesting answers. And they've already said that Atris is the only Jedi. Sounds like a pyramid of Pazak cards to me.
I do not understand the reference. Pazak cards would not be good building material for a pyramid.
And that's what you have when one of the judged is in charge of the judges.
I do not expect a criminal to understand. You have existed outside the circle of the Jedi for too long.
And that's a good point, too. Okay, I think we're done. We need to go find that other handmaiden to the north? There's all these doors here. Okay, there's some ladies. This is not north, though. I think... in here? This is storage. Okay. Wow, oh, wow. Okay, handmaiden.
Why have you approached me?
They're all gonna say the same thing, I think. Although we could look for a fight. Hey! Hey, buddy! Your behavior core. They didn't memory wipe you, did they? Then fight the next time someone tries to take the ship. You know what? I think I need to be... I don't know if I really need influence with T3. Whoa. Up the charge, make it lethal? Can we do that? Or do we do this? Buy him an upgrade. Let's do this. Wait, she downloaded what from you? Why would she want what's in your memory core? Probably Paragus, to see what happened. Let's get you back to the ship, then we can talk more. We'll see you at the Ebon Hawk. I wonder if he really does make something more lethal. There's a workbench. We're stealing their stuff. Wait, do we have our stuff? We have no weapons. Oh! Yeah, okay. There it is! So there's the Ebon Hawk. We need to... I thought we were looking for the Handmaiden. Let's look at the journal. Nothing. Nothing. You found one of the Jedi Council, Atris, and hid Polar Academy on Telos. She thinks we're responsible. There's that one lady. What's in this door? Well, we found the rest of the gang.
Did you find what you came for?
That depends. What was I supposed to find here?
There was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still.
Oh yeah, she did. Well, let's be honest with her. She was one of the council who cast me out of the Order, and wanted to punish me even further.
I see it now. The act has left its marks. Be warned, unresolved events from our past can create wounds in the present and the future. And more importantly, they can distract you, weaken you. It could prove fatal against the enemies we face.
Let's just leave.
Very well. Let us depart.
What happened to Atten?
He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
Oh, Kreia. I'll shut down the cells and get you out of there.
I'm sorry, General. I must have lost consciousness in the crash.
I am going to be supportive of him. I feel like that is the best thing to do with Beodur, is just rely on him as a trusted soldier. I think he really goes for that, and that helps with
I'm fine,
influencing him.
General. Even power has been restored to my arm. What is this place? Where are we?
A Jedi Academy concealed on the northern pole of Telos.
This must be where I had detected the energy readings before, and the drain to the restoration shields. This room, this place, it looks part of a huge polar irrigation system, possibly planet-wide, like the one on Coruscant. I had been told by the Republic that it was not in use.
This'll be your new home if your words could slow me down. Understand? What? Are you well enough to travel?
I am, General. If you wish, I may travel with you, or join you at the ship.
Meet me at the ship and prep it for launch. We're leaving here as soon as we can. I kind of want Atten with us right now.
Very well, General. I will await your arrival.
Mistress, you summoned me.
I have a task for you. The exile is dangerous. I'm concerned that he was able to return to Republic space and reach Telos without my knowledge.
Mistress, the Harbinger was lost in transit. It was our failing.
What is done, but now I need you to travel with him.
Mistress,
I realize what I'm asking of you, and I'm asking that you keep your purpose a secret, even from your sisters. I need someone to watch the exile closely, and let me know if he contacts the Sith. More importantly, I need you to study him closely. I need to know what he thinks, what he does. Become part of his group. Earn his trust. Get him to confide in you.
I will do as you ask, Mistress. But, Mistress, the exile did not seem to pose a threat to us.
Ah, but he does. Do not be fooled by the exterior. It is his nature you must beware. He fell to the dark side once. He will do so again. I am trusting you with this task, last of my handmaidens. Do not disappoint me. The galaxy, the Jedi, may depend on it.
Yep, we got a little influence with Bowder. I do want to talk to Atten.
Hey, you're back with us. We were just on our way to rescue you from those ghost women when, we got locked up.
Rescued me with what? With your Achani training?
Ichani training?
Huh? What are you talking about?
When we met those handmaidens at the entrance, you dropped into an Achani combat stance. Where did you learn that?
Oh, that. Don't tell anyone, but you wouldn't believe how many fights you can prevent by just pretending to know that stuff. I mean, it doesn't compare to wearing a lightsaber, but then again, that doesn't seem to help you much.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I think this is a good time to use Force Persuade. You wouldn't normally use it on a companion, but this is like a real important moment. We're probably going to lose influence with him for doing this. So maybe we shouldn't. But we're angry with him, right? He's been lying to us this whole time. So yeah, we'll do it.
Ah! What? You damn Jedi are all the same. Give you a little power and it rots you all the way to the core. Stay out of my head. I mean it.
I think you're lying to me.
Yeah? So what? I don't ask any dumb questions about your past, despite the fact that it keeps throwing us into life-threatening situations. Want to know why? I figure if you ever want to tell me something, you will. So give me the same respect, all right?
That's a good point. So maybe we'll just be nice to him now. I'm not accusing you. I just want to know if you've got any other useful skills. You could be a real asset with combat training.
Well, hey, thanks. But you've got the wrong guy. I'm good at shooting people, cracking wise, and pretending to know how to fight with my hands.
Whatever you say. Hey, are you okay? You don't look that well.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine. How did things go with the Jedi here? Are you all done?
Yeah, and they're done with us. They want us out now.
Things went that well, huh? You make friends wherever you go, don't you?
Until the galaxy runs out of people, yeah.
Well, that's encouraging. Nothing like a steady stream of people who hate us or want to kill us to keep the heart pumping.
You've done enough, Atten. You can go if you want.
No, I was just complaining. I'm with you until things start going better for you. We need to stick together, you know? And who knows? I might be able to help you out of a tight spot at some point.
Thanks, Atten. I appreciate it.
Hey, don't mention it. It's my pleasure.
All right, let's go. So we both gained and lost. Obviously, we lost because we tried to persuade him. So that we know not to do that again. Net dark side shift. Let's talk to Kreia for a second.
Let us keep moving. There is nothing more to be gained here.
Very well, let's keep moving. So let's open up. We're going to explore a little bit more to the south. I thought we were... What's in this room? Ooh. Hello. Let's get our sword put away. Hey, lady. Are we going to spar?
The exile. The one Atris warned us about.
Are you the last of the handmaidens?
I am the last of the handmaidens. This is correct. I train so that one day that will no longer be true.
The others said you were easily distracted from your training.
It dishonors me that they would say such a thing to an outsider, but I cannot deny the truth in what they say. My thoughts are not always focused on training. Perhaps once having known the ways of the Jedi, you may understand what occupies my thoughts.
What do you mean?
There is much knowledge here, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their ways of battle, their forms, their stances, that may be lost forever if the last of the Jedi is taken from the galaxy.
Oh, interesting. Battle is not the truth of the Jedi trainings. I believe it to be the farthest thing from it. Combat is not the way... We can't say that. We went off to war with Revan. Combat is not the Jedi way, and it is not my way. Is this what occupies your thoughts? To lose those combat techniques would be tragic. When the methods to inflict violence on others is limited, it weakens us all. Well, let's just keep asking her. There's so much to say. I kind of like this one. If you were afraid of the Jedi lore being lost, why don't you try and learn some of that lore? You would preserve it. Let's say this one. If you were afraid of the Jedi lore being lost, why don't you try to learn it?
Even if I possessed the senses that the Jedi were said to have, such teachings would be forbidden. Atris has set us upon the road we are to travel until the end of our days. We are to serve the Jedi by watching them, not learning their ways.
But how can you watch the Jedi effectively if you do not know their ways of battle, of offense and defense?
That is something I had not considered. You have given me something to reflect on, Exile. I thank you.
Why does this Jedi knowledge interest you if it's forbidden?
There is much knowledge here.
Okay,
Only
all right.
one of
Yep.
There is so
Yep. All right. Is this what occupies your thoughts?
To the Ichani, battle is a means of communication. It is an art, in the truest sense of the word. Stance, form, discipline are a means of expression and communication. They speak one's heart and one's devotion to their cause.
Devotion to their cause?
Yes, the methods you use to meet your opponent speak truer than any words can express. When you risk pain or death, there is no truer sacrifice or strength.
That's interesting. I won't say this. I think we can gain influence. I don't know if we can gain influence with her because she's not in our party yet. But if we agree with her, I think that would help. I agree. It shows how far you are willing to go for your goals.
It was to the Jedi traitor Malak. It was to the Jedi traitor Revan. When Terrace was destroyed, it showed Malak's heart through its execution and intent. It was brutal, without finesse, but showed his commitment to defeat the Jedi. Yet with Revan, there was the same commitment, but it was a subtle thing, like weaving threads in a tapestry, or strokes upon a canvas. He spoke through battle and tactics, in a way one could never do in words. He showed his heart at Malachor V, and finally, at the end of the Jedi Civil War. I believe he was speaking to Malak in that final battle, though few knew it.
The Force drove Revan to do what needed to be done, and that is all.
But to say that seems an untruth based on what I know of the Jedi. The Force can drive others, but there is still choice, is there not?
Ah, but at what point does the power the Force exerts submerge any attempt at choice or free will? You have taken a complicated question, servant of Atris, and you have trivialized it with your answer and lack of experience.
If there is no choice in the Force, then our teachings and our actions are for nothing, and I refuse to believe that is true.
Interesting. The dialogue between them. Revan turned on Malak, once a friend, and killed him.
What stronger display than death for conveying one's sense of being betrayed by one's own student? Revan's anger must have been great indeed.
To claim to know anything of Revan's choices, or what lay in his heart when Malak fell, is conceit, servant of Atris. And whether Revan had any choice in the matter at all is something else you should consider. The Force is a powerful thing to wield, or deny.
Regardless, I would have liked to have been there for that final exchange, and seen the truth of their conflict with each other, as perhaps you would have.
Let me ask you something else.
You may ask.
I heard you know something of the relics Atris has stored here.
I know a little of them, yes. Much Jedi knowledge is stored here. Secrets of their teachings, combat styles, and discipline.
Can you help me obtain some of these teachings?
The Jedi relics are kept by Atris, within the walls of her meditation chamber. Entry is forbidden.
Where do these relics come from?
Most come from Dantooine, brought here before the academy there was destroyed by Malak. Not all relics were able to be saved, for there was not time to rescue them all.
You said most came from Dantooine. What about the others?
I am not permitted to speak of such things, and it is not your concern.
Uh-huh. So you can already tell that there's something fishy going on with Atris. There's something fishy going on with her. Where are they stored?
The Jedi relics are kept by Atris,
Right,
within the wall.
So you've never seen them?
I have seen a few of them. Yes, they were not always in Atris's meditation chamber.
Can you tell me about the ones you saw?
There were many relics, among them small cubes, warm to the touch, each containing their own light.
Jedi holocrons, yet warm to the touch, you said.
Yes, and with a light about them. When held, some would speak, ask strange questions.
Questions?
Yes, their questions were confusing. They seemed to think I was someone else, someone's student.
Ah, of course they did. A simple misunderstanding, no doubt.
I had thought perhaps I had damaged them in some way, but I could not think of what I had done.
Okay, let me ask you something
You may
else. You look different from the other women here.
I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others.
I apologize, I meant no offense.
There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that.
Is it a sensitive subject?
It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time.
Okay.
You may ask.
I think that's everything we need to know. You said Atris warned you about me. What did she say?
She said, you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself.
Again, this is very interesting. I imagine that this game, once you know the full story of the game, and I think most of you watching, and of course I know, like, the first time you go through this, a lot of this doesn't make any sense. But if you play a second or a third time, there's so much depth to what's going on. And that's one of the reasons I love this game. I went to war to protect others, not to fight. Wait, can you really say I went to war not to fight? Let's do this one. Oh?
That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts. And she told us why you fell to the dark side.
What? Dark side?
Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up.
That doesn't explain why I stopped fighting after the Mandalorian Wars.
Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force.
I did not march with Revan because it was my choice.
So it was a matter of choice then. If Atris has erred in her evaluation of your motivations, it might be best to inform her.
Let's say this one. Did Atris say anything else? I mean, again, if thinking about influence, I don't want to overly insult Atris again and again because I might lose influence with the handmaiden. Did Atris say anything else?
I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation.
Expressed feelings?
Yes. It is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all.
What do you think Atris's heart says?
Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion.
Well, I have no wish to fight Atris.
Then her expressed feelings will have to suffice.
Okay, I think we're gonna go now.
Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like?
I only know what its loss feels like.
Then tell me of its absence.
An echo forever traveling inside you until the end of your days. That's so depressing. It is something you struggle to recall, yet forever forgotten.
It is standing atop the summit of a great mountain, the winds tearing about you, then finding yourself buried alive, trapped, helpless, and alone. It is like having the energy of youth, then feeling the cloak of years fall upon you, and knowing you are weak, fragile, and a thing easily discarded. It is knowing what you want to say and never finding the words. It is a chorus replaced with silence, hearing teachings without meaning. It is like a beloved pupil to whom you have shared everything, sacrificed everything, and then having them turn from you and forget all you were.
I see. Thank you both. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
Wow, Kreia got a little, let things get a little bit personal there. If you have any further questions in the future, seek me out and ask them. So let's look around here. I kind of thought there's loot. I'm not really... It's probably just a bunch of med packs. But let's keep looking. Oh, maybe... I mean, we wouldn't find lightsaber parts in here. Right? This must be where all the handmaidens live. Yeah. Nothing much. There's just that one container. Not really worried about it. Is that the whole place? Are we ready to get out of here? I think we are. So yeah, not a not the most exciting of episodes. No action at all. So actually, we're not going to be able to tell if if my audio is actually fixed or not, because we haven't had any action parts, no blaster fire or anything like that. But I think we are going to wrap things up here, and we'll hop on the Ebon Hawk and get out of here in the next video. And I guess we'll level up Atten as well, who I just noticed does need a level up, but we'll do that next time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our time together. Take care.